guys, me host Super Zoro, thank you very much for tuning in. Look what I got! It's the Marvel Legends 3-pack, the Family Matters pack. Although family doesn't matter that much to you, does it, Magneto? Because you forgot about your third daughter, Polaris. But we have Polaris anyway, so I'm really looking forward to opening this up, posing them all together. This is obviously based as well, before people start, this is based on the Brotherhood of Mutants, which Polaris wasn't a part of. It was Scarlet Witch, it was Magneto, it was Quicksilver, and it wasn't Mystique back then. I mean, I've got my cheat sheet over here. Who else was in the original? My little cheat sheet. It was Magneto's original Brotherhood, and it consisted, of Mastermind and Toad. Obviously, further down the line, we then obviously saw other people join, like Mystique and Sabretooth and Blob and Pyro and all the rest. I like this. This is more in keeping with the 90s cartoon of Magneto, which is the main reason why most people bought the pack, is for him. But I do like this updated version of Scarlet Witch, and I've only ever had an old Toy Biz version of him as well, a Quicksilver, so I'm glad to actually have a Quicksilver in my range now. I do have all the old figures out on the desk as well, as you see behind me, so I will do some comparisons, side-by-sides, and we'll see which is the best of the figures. So guys, let's break them out of the packaging. Awesome packaging, by the way. It's got some nice artist rendering shots on the side. On the back of the box, it has a beautiful write-up. I'm loving these new style boxes with the comic art. The write-up states, Magneto forms the Brotherhood of Mutants to combat anti-mutant sentiment, but the organisation turns into a family matter when he recruits his twin superpowered children, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, to help him carry out his terrorising agenda. Obviously as well, they were the main focus characters during the House of M storyline, where it changed kind of Marvel forever. Scarlet Witch as well, for those of you that are uninitiated with the comics and are just familiar with the movies right now, Scarlet Witch, you'll be wondering, why is she an Avenger and why is she a good guy? She is. She does eventually go to the Avengers and become one of them and falls in love with Vision. But her original character and story was that she was one of the villains. Now, I don't know as much about Quicksilver as I do about the others, so I'm really not sure, other than X-Men, what happened with Quicksilver, whether he did go on to join the Avengers, or whether that was made up for the movies. Oh, I don't like... I hate how they put the capes in like that. Ooh. Another piece there. Another one there. I like Magneto's pieces this time round, they're much nicer. Oh, I'm going to do it again now with this cape. Oh. Hasbro, why must you do this to my cape? Taking a chunk out of the cape, man. Taking an actual chunk out of the cape. Mother... So mad. Right. Some plastic issues on mine as well, some warping. That's not good. Alright, Magneto. Oh, there's some bleeding issues as well with the paintwork. Ouchie, ouchie. That's the problem as well, obviously. That's one of the problems with buying online. You can't always choose the best paint-apt version and things like that, so you have to get what you're given. And this was an Amazon exclusive, or it's going to be an Amazon exclusive. It's not officially out until, I think, July. Somehow some import stock has managed to make it to the UK. I got this piece personally through In-Demand Toys. So big thanks to In-Demand Toys for getting this so soon. Okay, so we have all the pieces out. So let's take a look at the characters. So we have Magneto. This is more classic Magneto for me. It just looks so good. Loving how this figure looks. Don't worry, we'll look at the desk cam as well and get a better look. But the figure itself is very poseable, very nice. Head on a ball joint, so you can rotate it in all sorts of directions, which is great. Arms do lift up the top hinge there, as you can see. If we can just pop the head for now, and just remove that cape for all of 10 seconds, please. Just so I can do articulation. The arms as well do rotate outwards as well, which is nice, as well as up and down. There's a top bicep cut, double hinge elbow there, so that's pretty cool as well, so you can bend his arm pretty far inwards, and the hands as well are on ball joints. There is the diaphragm hinge as well, so you can crunch him backwards as well as forwards to hunch him forward. There is a waist swivel there as well. Legs do lift out pretty far as well as forwards and backwards, with a top thigh cut, double hinge knee there as well. There is a boot cut there as well, and a rocker and pivot for the ankles. So the Magneto itself is a new Magneto. It's not a Magneto we've had previously, which is nice. He does still have the hole in the back, so you can, there's the little nubbin on the cape to pop it into, to keep it in place, which is kind of cool. Otherwise it does just get held in place pretty well via the head, obviously keeps it from falling off with the big round piece, so don't worry too much. What I like as well is that the cape pieces, the head pieces around here, obviously they are bendable a little bit, so be careful of those. And it is a nice figure. And just in case we were wondering, we do have the secondary head sculpt as well, which is awesome. Secondary head sculpt took some issues getting on there, but I have now finally officially got it on. It's a very nice head sculpt though. It's well worth the issue, the pulling and the prodding and the poking to get it on, because it was well worth it. Oh, very stiff. Ugh. Which is good though. Means it's not going to fall off anytime soon. Yeah, these clenched teeth and whited eyes. A more sinister Magneto. But if we pop that off again, we can even use the old head sculpt. We can take it off and give him the unmasked head as well from a previous Magneto figure as well, so that's pretty cool. So we can have the unmasked Eric Lenscher head. It's a much more classic look for me. You can also use that in a variety of poses without, if I was going to go full like he's doing his powers and fighting and things, then yeah, I think this face would be awesome. But for regular display purposes, I'm thinking the standard face is just fine. Wow, and that's just Magneto we talked about. I will do comparisons to the other figures on the desk cam, so you'll be able to see them better. It also comes with two interchangeable hands. Obviously, these hands that he's got on right now are open palm hands, sorry, like open, like he's using his powers. It does come with two closed fist hands. And he also comes with these little... Don't think I'll be using them, I don't like them. I don't think the suit is powers really. So let's move on and take a look at Quicksilver, one of the reasons most people are buying this pack. He's got some awesome articulation too. So we can get him in some awesome poses. So the head as well as on a ball joint. So like last time, you can make him look him down, left and right. His arms do lift up, and they have got the butterfly hinge on here as well, so you can get him to pose with his arms backwards like he's about to start dashing or something. That's pretty awesome. He's got a crunch there at the waist, goes backwards and forwards pretty well, as well as a waist swivel. Legs lift out, top thigh cut, double hinge knee, boot cut, and rocker and pivot in the feet. Very sturdy figure. It feels, the joints are very stiff, which is what you want on this figure, especially given that it's Quicksilver. And I'm going to try and get him in a dynamic I'm about to start racing pose. Yeah. You can get him in some right poses. Because the joints are that stiff, he's going to stick in them pretty easily. Obviously, guys, before you start prodding and poking at your figures, always give them a little warm-up if you can. Don't just jump in at the deep end and start pulling on your figures really hard, because they will snap and break. Sometimes they can be a little bit brittle first coming out of the packaging. Now, these figures aren't without issues. I mean, on this one, as you can see, there are paint app issues on the figures. There's blue on the silver, silver on the blue, and there's chipping going on in the paintwork. So that can be a pain in the behind. My figure's gone quite wobbly quite quick as well. That was same with Magneto as well. As you can see there on the bottom of the feet here, there's some chipping issues on the paint. Same with the hands around the gauntlet here. You can still see the red bleeding into the purple. And around the helmet as well, there's chipping going all the way around the helmet there. And there's even a big grey stain there right on the helmet. So it is a pain, but it can be easily fixed and buffered out. It's not like they're not life-damaging issues for the figure. You can quickly buff them out, or, quickly give them a lick of paint and it's gone. So, sandpaper at the ready. So that's 2 of the figures. That means we've got 1 left, and that's Scarlet Witch. But don't worry, we'll go to the desk cam, like I said, afterwards, and take a look at these figures. Magneto's cape is the bane of my life right now. I don't know why I'm having such issues with it. It's stopping the helmets from coming on and off as easily. Ugh. Get in the little nubbit. I hope I remember to edit this video, because if it goes on like this, it's going to be crazy. Right. Is he done? Stand him up. Right. Magneto, stand. Jesus. And of course then we get Scarlet Witch, guys. Now Scarlet Witch is awesome. I'm loving this new face sculpt. A lot of people were hating on this one when it first came out. I don't know why. Everyone said she looks very metallic and weird, but actually in hand she doesn't look metallic in the slightest. The legs here have a little bit of a shine look to them, but so do the top part of the hands and the gloves and things. But the figure itself, that head sculpt, is just beautiful. I think that is actually my new favourite face sculpt of all time. It actually looks like it just looks really, really, really beautiful. Compared to the last face sculpt we had for Scarlet Witch, are you kidding me? Look at that! Ah! So it's nice we're getting these nice updated figures with better face sculpts that just look so much more like the character. This to me is in keeping with the modern interpretation of Scarlet Witch, which could be can be used for an Avengers display stand as well as an X-Men. So if you're an Avengers fan and you want her for your Avengers set, then this set could still be for you. Just put her with your Avengers and sell the rest on to your to your X-Men fans. Friends even. Fans? X-Men friends. But she's awesome. And she comes with some effects pieces, which is nice. You can put those around her hand. We do get a spare one as well, which curls around, which is pretty nice. I'm pretty sure they've used that same one on a sword before. I forgot to mention, Quicksilver does also come with 2 hands that are flat palm. There's so much to go through. Scarlet Witch articulation. So her head is on a ball joint, although it is a little bit hindered by the cape and stuff. So you can make it look left and right though. The hairpiece comes all the way down as well, which does hinder this back part, but it's fine. The arms do lift up as much as the cape will allow them to, and outwards, as well as no top bicep cut or anything. Single hinge elbow as usual for Marvel Legends with the women characters. So annoying, give us double hinges. We've got a nice diaphragm hinge as well to crunch forwards and backwards. Legs lift out pretty far as well as forwards and backwards with a top thigh cut, double hinge knee there, no boot cut, and just foot articulation as normal, but the pivot and rocker. But it just would be nice if they give us a little bit more articulation with the female characters. Scarlet Witch is such a dynamic character. We want to put her in some great posing, but then you're scuppered by the actual design team. I want to have her flying, but a nice display stand for her flying would look awfully good. The cape as well does act as a little bit of a helping stand, a little bit like last time when we had her there. Although this time we do get flat feet rather than the booted feet, which is nice. Booted? Is booted a word? I don't think it's a word. I think I made that up. But guys, so now we're going to go to the desk cam and give you guys an up-close personal look at these figures. So let's go to the desk cam! Alright guys, here they are out of the packaging. It's Magneto, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch. So let's take a look at them individually on the desk cam. So as you can see, Scarlet Witch looks awesome. I really do love that new face. And that new headpiece as well is just so much better. It just sits on a hairline rather than on top of a head. And it just looks so much nicer and cleaner. And the paintwork on her is pretty decent as well. There's not many issues here. There's a few chipping issues when it comes to the actual plastic itself, where it's sort of warped in transit and not been cut effectively. But it's still pretty decent, and you easily sandable. And if you really are a perfectionist, you can fix this up pretty easily. But I like this figure. I love the way it looks. I think they've done a great job at bringing Scarlet Witch back to us now with a better cape as well. Is that similar to the Unworthy Thor cape? It looks very similar. But yeah, I like it. I love these little hand pieces as well. So we do have 2 of them. We have a thinner one as well. That's pretty cool. Magneto as well, he's an awesome version of Magneto, more keeping with the classic 90s X-Men, which is one of the reasons I wanted him. We do have the black Magneto that we got the last time, black and red, but I do prefer this classic purple and red. Finally, we can unite as well, Professor Charles Xavier and Magneto. Like I said, there are some paint issues though on the feet and things like that, around the boots and things. There are cuts into the paint, so you can see chipping there. A few paint defect issues, like blue into red and red into blue and smudging, but it's fine. Nothing too crazy. Again, I only notice these things because I review these figures. Most people that open this up probably wouldn't even notice that straight away until I start posing them. And then, of course, we've got Quicksilver as well. I've kind of put into a bit of a I'm going to start running pose. I don't know what else to do with it, but it looks pretty cool. Again, he's got the paint app issues as well. Silver and the blue, blue and the silver, and slight chipping and things in the actual paintwork itself. More noticeable down here. But again, it's from far away, it's barely noticeable. Again, this is such a great lineup of figures. I'm so glad to have these in my collection. I'm really happy. Got the Brotherhood of Mutants. And of course, we've got an awesome new Scarlet Witch. So let's start with Scarlet Witch and do some comparison. Alright, quickly start before the fall down. Especially this one. Look at the difference here now between these 2 figures. It's like night and day, chalk and cheese. Which one are you going to put in your collection? This one. This one's awful now by comparison. Face sculpts, first of all, are just completely different and just so much nicer than the new one. The older figure was always a pain to stand because of the boots, feet. They just never wanted to stand. You always had her ended up standing on this bottom pivot part of the cape that just kept her from falling backwards all the time. So in that respect, definitely this new Scarlet Witch is the winner, hands down. But if we move across as well, you can see the MCU version of the Scarlet Witch as well, which has that new face scan technology to look like the actress. And yeah, pretty decent characters. I could imagine doing a swap, actually, putting this leather cloak on her and see how that looks as well. I think that looked pretty sick. But yeah, it'd be nice to do a little bit of fun changes with that one. But yeah, figures are nice. I like this one, but I do definitely think this new Scarlet Witch is definitely the keeper in the collection, guys. Would you agree? Let me know in the comments. So here are our 2 Magnetos that we have side by side. I don't have any of the older Magnetos, but I do have the black and red Magneto from the previous wave of X-Men. And yeah, the purple and red one for me is classic. It goes back to my 90s X-Men roots. And when I first started reading the comics, these were the colours he was painted in. I don't remember seeing a black and red Magneto in the comic books. I said that when I did this review. I think was it the Marvel Now comics or something like that, this version? I don't 100% remember him. So for me, it's going to be this classic pose all the way. And do you remember the translucent hands we got for this guy last time, the purple hands? Well, I've got a feeling this might look awesome. There it is, the new translucent hand. Wow. Looks pretty cool, actually. So you can fit the old translucent hands that came with the past Magneto. They do work with the new Magneto as well, so definitely give them a whirl if you want to look like he's using his powers. Slightly changes the look of the figure as well, which is nice. Especially for posing for pictures, it gives it a bit of a variant look. People were obviously got a bit upset with these last time when we got given these. Do you know what I like to use them for? I like to use them on the thing that he's going to be, like, using his powers against. So let me get something set up and I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. So let's say Magneto's about to use his powers. He's got the purple hand on that shows he's using his powers. And then if you look over here, it looks like he's forcing the arms of Havoc to do something by putting that little static sort of thing on him. It works better on like Wolverine or someone where you can like cloak it over the entire arms and have 2 of them, and then it looks like he's being pinned to the ground or something by Magneto. It's just a cool way of doing it to sort of show in your dioramas who Magneto's using his powers against. And obviously, if you can put a bit of an anguished expression on the face of the character, like Wolverine with his open mouth snarling face, it does look like he's using his powers against him. And don't forget, if you can get the posing just right, so you can't see the face of the actual helmet, you can make him hold the helmet and put the unhelmeted face on, and it does look like he's just carrying the helmet under his arm almost. Just make sure your posing's right so you can't see the face of Magneto on the other side, otherwise it looks like he's decapitated himself in the past. But yeah, it's an awesome little thing that you can do, with or without this, the helmet. You can have the unmasked head from the previous wave on the new Magneto, which is awesome. I really like this figure. And now we've got the unmasked head and the masked head. It's just, we can do so much with this figure now. I love it.
We're the future, Charles, not them. They no longer matter.
Don't give up on them, Eric. Mankind has evolved since then. Yes, into us. Why do you ask questions to which you already know the answers? And here's my two Quicksilvers for comparison as well. Obviously the new one is leaps and bounds against the old one. I like the fact that they've kind of used Eric's face from the unmasked one and just changed it a little bit. So he does have that look about him, which is awesome. So obviously it's his father. So it's nice that they've done that. It looks better than this milk bottle green thing. The old Toy Biz one is awful by comparison, but it does have awesome articulation, including a toe articulation, which really helps with the running pose. So I suppose if we can do a little head swap, it would probably look decent. But yeah, I'm finally glad to be getting rid of this goopy goblin. Because look at him, look how he leans and things. He just leans. It looks like a little old man that's crippled. It looks awful. Don't like it, and he wobbles a lot. So the new one wins all the way for me. And let's not forget about Magneto's final child, Polaris. Now, Polaris came out with an older wave of X-Men, but her articulation, she's still quite a modern figure by today's standards, especially with the women characters. They haven't changed that much, if at all, really. They haven't got double hinge elbows, they still haven't got them. So yeah, her articulation's still bog standard for a female character anyway, so she's not really due an upgrade at this point. And like I said, this box set that we have is based on the Brotherhood of Mutants, the original version, the Magneto's Brotherhood, which included these two characters, but didn't include Polaris to some time later, and she's more of an ally to the X-Men than an enemy as well. And in recent years, she has proved to be one of the team leaders in X-Men, and become quite a popular character due to the TV series X-Men Gifted as well, which is one of the reasons I bought her, along with Warpath, who's up there, and Blink as well, who's up there. Wow. But guys, what do you guys think of this pack? Would you like this pack? Do you think there's something you'll pick up for yourself? Let us know in the comments. But let's go back to the main cam and finish off today's video. So guys, which is your favourite figure out of this box set? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video review. Thank you very much for watching.